Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Tim, and if you're familiar with our channel, this is mainly hybrid homesteading, and my wife Brenda and I run this channel where we live. And I'm going to be doing a double duty kind of video today. One, because we haven't done a lot of videos this summer, so I'm going to kind of explain. It's become quite evident what we've been doing. And also this other purpose of this video is so that we can use it as a tool for listing our property for sale. We are sitting here at 62 Ledgewood Drive in Hollis, Maine. Hollis, Maine is in York County, southern Maine. Population of just under 5,000 people. And it's actually home to Poland Spring bottle watering plant. It's one of the biggest in the world, I believe. It's a huge facility. We took a tour of it one time. Nice thing about Hollis, Maine is the taxes are relatively low. Property taxes are still relatively low. I'm not checked it recently, but I want to say it's probably around $13 a thousand. I think is how they judge it, so your value of your property. And that's very reasonable for southern Maine. We're about 30 minutes. It's considered a bedroom community. We're about 30 minutes away from Portland, Windham, Biddeford area, the coast, basically. But yet we're in a very small community and are very local to services. We're within 10 minutes of grocery shopping, offices, stuff that you would need every day. So you're close by for conveniences, but not too far away for the bigger stuff like the big box stores and whatnot in the Portland or on the coast area. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and I'm going to take you down the driveway to show you 62 Ledgewood Drive, which is just off of Deer Wander. And this right here that you're looking down is actually Ledgewood Drive. Ledgewood Drive comes out on Waterboro Road on one end and Deer Wander on the other end. And we usually come in off of Deer Wander. So this is the property at 62 Ledgewood Drive in Hollis, Maine. This is your private right-of-way to the property. It's approximately, I think I did on Google Earth, about 1,000 feet long. So it's not too bad. A little bit of a hill here. And we've lived here for going on 9 years this December. So we're very familiar with maintaining this road. This road is the responsibility of us because it is our right-of-way and we're the only ones that utilize this road. So it's nice on one hand that we are the only ones that get to use this road. On the other hand, we do have to maintain it, which isn't too bad of a problem. The first 2 or 3 years that we lived here, we actually used a plow truck. I purchased a truck with a plow, and that worked really well. No problem with that. But the truck was getting tired, so we sold that. I picked up some snow blowers and did it with snow blowers for a few years. Also put one on my ATV, tried that out. Then eventually got a tractor, and the tractor got a snow blower on it, and well, you know, the plow and a bucket and everything else that you might need. So didn't really need anything else, but it's not too hard to maintain this road in the winter. There's plenty of place to push the snow. This property off to the side here is the property owner whose land we're crossing the right-of-way. So you come down into your property here, and what's real quick I'll mention, Hollis has trash pickup, and that's every Tuesday they come around, so that's included. You have a local dump that they work with a local town, so you can bring some other bigger stuff that you can't put by the side of the road. So here as we come down into the lot, you will see that first thing you'll notice there's a couple of containers here. Those are containers we had brought in this spring, and they're just here to hold our stuff as we pack everything up. And as you drive into the property here, I'm going to actually get out and I'm going to take you on a foot tour, and we'll walk you around the property. So I'm just walking back up the road a little bit here just to show you a little bit of the right-of-way outside of the vehicle. And this property is serviced by CMP. We also had the cable run down here, so you've got cable. And so the property begins pretty much right over here, the property line. This is a 3.6 acre surveyed lot. And we've cleared approximately maybe just under 2 acres of it. You can see there's some really nice old timber here, pine. There's actual maple trees in there that I tapped for maple syrup. and the property goes that way quite a bit, and I'll show you on the map here in a minute. And you can see the home here sitting a little bit behind the containers. Unfortunately, I can't, but I'll show you the best I can once I get around there. This 40-foot storage container here is something we purchased when we bought the property for our, instead of renting storage unit space. And this box trailer can either go with the property or can stay here. It's a dry, there's no leaks. I've shelved both sides of this. This is 40 feet long, so there's shelves in here, so it's good storage space. And there's also power that comes to here. So there's a light switch in here, and it's lit up, so you have good dry storage. Granted, it's cold, but it does keep your stuff dry. As you walk onto the property here, again, you'll see some containers, and those will be here until we get to our new location. As I said, this property is serviced by CMP, and there's your power source. And when we purchased the property, we ran all new wire underground to the trailer. So we got new wire, and as I mentioned, we ran internet, which is right here, comes to the property. That was quite expensive to get here, but it was well worth it. Over here we've got an artesian well. This is about 110 feet deep. We just put a new pump in here just within the last month. We had put a brand new one in when we purchased the property. It didn't have a pump in it. We installed one, but it failed recently. So as I said, we just put a brand new pump in here, so you should be good to go for quite a long time. And that well has never failed. There's a lot of water here, so we've never had a problem. As we walk out back here, you'll notice there's a garage here. Now this garage is just one of those Shelter Logic. It's a 15 by 20. What I did is I have two of them, so it's actually 15 by 40. And this is supposed to be a temporary setup so that I'd have a place to work on stuff out of the weather until we could build our garage or a barn. It's lasted quite a few years. Initially only bought one of them, and of course anybody that's familiar with these knows that it doesn't take long for the tarps on these to basically fail. And I ended up trying something different, which worked out great. This has lasted for now almost 5 years, and I'll show you what it is. It's pretty basic, pretty simple really. What I did is the zipper door that goes on the front here, I just took that off and I just framed this up and put some wood. I bought a couple of garage doors, put one on this end. I was going to put one on the other end. I haven't put it on because I couldn't get my tractor in with the garage door, so I left it off for now. I do have it, and it can go with the home. If somebody wants to keep this, they will be able to install a second garage door on the other end. But underneath this plastic is a layer of house wrap, this Tyvek house wrap right here. I actually wrapped the whole garage with that Tyvek on top of the actual original tarp that came with it. So this one up front, I think one of them is a new one and has brand new. Basically, if you took this plastic off, you'll find a brand new garage top under here. So it's the only thing I don't have is the door, because obviously I took it off to put the garage door on. And there's supposed to be a garage door on this end too. As I said, it wouldn't take much to frame this up, put a garage door on that end if that's what you want to do. And again, if this is something that the person purchasing the property doesn't want, we can certainly make arrangements to remove that. Over here we've got a 12 by 14 shed. It's quite tall. I want to say it's a 10 or 12 feet. You've got a nice ramp here, a couple of little decks, metal roof, and there's no power to this shed, but as I said, it is. I'll take you in, open the door here, and we'll show you. It's a great dry storage area. Storing your stuff. We'll take you around back to this side of the property. Now everything back here is all my stuff, so this will all be going with us when we move. This won't be staying, but basically the property line comes up this hill, and back there's a corner, comes back down over here and into the woods over there, and back down over there, and all the way back to over there. So you've got 3.68 acres here, and as you can see, partially shaded in the back here. So this is my work area. This area can be used for anything. Really, it's a nice area for if you're going to raise animals, farming, garden. It does get sun in the summer, excuse me, in the morning time. It's just right now. The sun's heading down that way and blocking us out, but this is facing north that way, and this is south down this way. But you can see this is quite a large area over here. Now, what I have over here is, this is a wood fire processing area that I set up. And again, this can all be cleared out of here when we move. This will be gone. But if the new owner wanted to do something similar, all this wood is wood that I cut down on this. It was actually right here where we're standing. This was all oak, pine, and some various other species. And we cut it down. So this is what we've been using for firewood the last couple winters, and making some lumber out of it, obviously. But this is a nice little firewood processing area we have set up here. It works out real well. And of course, you can see the wood splitter. What I do is I process my firewood, load them on these pallets. 3 of these pallets actually make 1 cord. I custom built these specifically so that I knew what size and how much they would hold. And it's worked out really well, because all I have to do is grab the tractor, come over, pick up a pallet, bring it over to the house, and when that's empty, I just bring it back, get another pallet full of wood, and bring it over all winter long, and it works out really nice. This is some pine that I cut down on the property here that we're making into lumber. And again, this is going to be going with us unless a new owner wants it. But basically over here, you can see you have a good view of the complete yard here. All right, so the property line goes back into the woods here quite a bit. I'm not going to go that far up, but you can see back here, you've got still pretty big pine, some oak, and some maple. As I mentioned, we've been tapping some of the maple trees here in the forest, getting maple syrup. I think I did 60 or 70 gallons of sap the last time I did it. This area right here, I was going to make into a little pond area. You don't have to, but I can tell you that this is something I really wanted to try and get done. You can actually see it's still even a little bit, it's been a really dry summer, but this area right here actually would fill up with water in the springtime. It flows right through here. So it wouldn't take much to just finish cleaning this out, and you can make a nice little pond area in here, and that would complement your 2 gardens. You'll have 2 gardens to go. You also got a greenhouse over here. That's a 10 by 10 greenhouse. So as you can see, you got quite a nice open area here, and it's pretty much do whatever you want back here, really. As you can see, it's very quiet, very private. There's no neighbors in sight. One last thing I'll note is that this is the leach field right here. And when we get up closer, I'll show that a little bit more. But that's a complete view of your yard over here. Partial of the 3.68 acres, or 8 acres. As I make my way across the yard here, there's a lot of wildlife around here. We get a lot of turkey, a lot of deer. Basically, the only thing we haven't seen here is bear and moose. We've seen pretty much everything else, from porcupine to fox to, we actually had a snapping turtle come through the yard last summer. We had a flock of geese with baby geese walking through the yard. It's like a little zoo down here. It's really nice if you like the wildlife. Over here, Brenda's got some raised bed herb gardens that she put in last year. And She's got a few different herbs growing in here. She could explain a lot better than me. Over here we've got this fenced in garden, and we do have some stuff growing. Brenda just picked some string beans today that we have, so we have a few things growing. This is the second garden I just mentioned, and got a nice lawn area here for seating and family functions or whatever, relaxing. You got a nice big fire pit. I made this extra large. You can actually fit a pallet in there. And we've had some nice fires and some nice evenings here, just relaxing in the peace and quiet and the privacy. And I'll take you around down over this way. We've got a couple gates on this garden. We got one over here and we've got one over here. Brenda just picked some potatoes in this garden. I'm gonna try some of those. Here's your little wet area that I suggested for the pond. And in the springtime, one of the things we had to do is water control through here. And that's where the water flows through the property, comes down through here when it's flowing in the spring, and dumps down into what would be that pond area over here. Over here, this is the leach field area right here. And when we purchased the property, this was completely overgrown. This was all forest, all wooded, the whole area. We cleared this all out. The only thing that was not full of woods was basically this pad where the mobile home sits. There's a 70-foot pad broken into 4 sections. I shouldn't say broken, but 4 sections equaling a 70-foot pad. The back pad here was broken, basically junk. We had to get rid of it, and we put a new one in, so it's in really good shape. It's a 4-inch floating slab, and it's in excellent condition. The septic tank is right up here. We've had it flushed out, pumped out, I should say, a couple times now in the 9 years we've been here, 2, maybe 3 times. I've marked it off real well. This is the tank right here, and right under this rock, if you just dig down about 4 or 5 inches, there'll be a yellow chain, and that's chained to the cover of your septic tank, and that runs down under here into your leach field. This here is the parking area we made. I was going to be putting a carport. This is big enough. I think it's about 24 by 24 area right up here for parking. A parking area, real nice. And as you can see, when you pull up, you can either park up here, pull the way up here. So there's plenty of parking area. We have our camper set up here. Obviously, that's not going to be staying here. In the back here, you've got your back door slider entrance that gives you access to your little area of cooking area if you want. You got a little pad here. We actually had a hot tub on this pad at one point, but that died a couple years ago, so we didn't replace it. And from back here, you can see you've got a nice unobstructed view of your backyard here, and this is where this is beautiful in the morning. This is facing east towards the ocean, so the sun's coming up over here through the trees. Some of the most beautiful sunrises I've seen year-round, summer, spring, winter, right through these trees here. And wildlife, deer, the deer will come right up to the house here. Even with the dog here, the deer aren't afraid. They come up, the deer, the turkeys, and all kinds of other wildlife in this back here. And one of the things I wanted to point out was last year Brenda did plant some fruit bushes and trees. There's some raspberry, blackberry, blueberry, and they're actually producing. The deer haven't got to those yet. As I mentioned, the taxes on this property are low. We're paying currently under $1,000 a year in property taxes, and makes it very affordable. If you're looking for a good affordability, this is good property to consider. I'm going to talk a little bit about the home itself. This is a 1983 homette. mobile home. And it's actually listed, it was built in Vermont, and it's actually listed as a 14 by 70. The pad, the slab you can see here, is actually 70 feet long, 14 by 70. However, the trailer is only 66 feet long, which allows for a 4-foot tongue, which is underneath the trailer over here. So you can always put the tongue back on if it needs to be moved. But the other thing that's nice too is this 70-foot pad, this extra 4 feet. My plan was to build a nice 3-season entry right here that would allow you for extra space, storage, an entryway, a mudroom, what have you. There's a little slab area there to work with. If that's what you wanted to do, you could easily you could easily take this porch and actually close it into a 3-season. Make an entryway. I was going to do something a little more grand with some of the plans I had with the lumber I was milling out back. That didn't get done, so this is what you have, but this is still functional and options for down the road. This is metal siding and it's held up real nice. We put on new skirting when we purchased the property. The windows have all been updated on this mobile home. Some were done before we purchased it and some we've added since. I've also added these, I'm not sure what you would call it, a louver or something. What happens is the rain will come off the roof and it won't touch the window, which makes it really nice, keeps water off the window. The roof on this mobile home is, we haven't done anything to it. It's a rubber roof and it was on there when we purchased this home about 15 years ago now. And it's held up great. We haven't had any problems with water. To be honest with you, on any mobile home or any home, not only is the roof a concern, but also anything to do with any screws or anything that has access. So all these little screws, every single little screw on this mobile home is a potential for a water leak. And we have been very on making sure that everything, every screw, every possible location where water could get in and do damage, we've gone through and sealed it up. So as we walk down here, you can see all new windows, everything's in nice shape, and I'll be showing you a bit underneath. You've got this cord here. This is actually an outdoor outlet. This is an extension cord that we have running over to the storage trailer currently, just to give us some power. And like I said, everything, this is a brand new window that we just installed. I say that the window's not new, but we installed it in this master bedroom. And you can see here, this home is serviced primarily by LP, liquid propane. We've got two, I think they're 200-gallon tanks, I think they're called, 200 gallon. And we'll go over some of the numbers on heating and use of propane in a minute when I get inside. With the back of the home, and you can see everything's in real nice shape and well kept. We put paint on it. Back here we've got, and this will again be going with the home if somebody doesn't want it. This is a 7,000 watt generator. This is also LP, liquid propane, and we've got the tank here. And what's nice about this is we do run out of power occasionally, and what I've done is I've run a box over here that is very simple. There's a cord that plugs into here, and you can run it over to here, and I've got it powered right into the box inside. So all you have to do is turn off your main breaker, turn on, in our case, we usually run the fridge or the water pump, and that would get us through the storm. We could even run some lights and basically whatever you want to put on this generator. Works really well. And the liquid propane is nice because I'm almost guaranteed it's going to start every time I come out here. Oh, by the way, it's electric start. There's a battery on here, so I think it's a push button. So it works great, it runs great, and it's gotten us out of a few jams. Over here we've got the back entrance. gives you entrance to your generator in your backyard, which brings us back to a little barbecue backyard area here. And from here, we'll take you into the house. Okay, as I mentioned, this is a 1983 Homette. It's got 924 square feet. It's a 14 by 66. They call it a 14 by 70, and it's actually 66 feet long with a 70-foot slab. And so it gives you options for additions if you want to put one on. Rubber roof, as I mentioned, real nice, works great. The nice thing about this is the very low maintenance. It's very easy to maintain. It's affordable to heat, and I'll show you the heating sources we have. And it's a very affordable lifestyle. The home itself, our goal when we purchased it, it was actually sitting in a trailer park at the time, and we purchased the property at a later date and then matched the two up. And as I mentioned, this lot was basically just an overgrown wooded area with a broken slab, no water pump. It was just it was a risk when we bought it, but it worked out well, and we put a lot of work and effort into making it the home it is today. The home itself, we'll go inside and show you some of the upgrades that we've made. I'm going to begin with the most obvious. The door on this mobile home when we purchased it was actually right over here where this window is, and you may be able to see there's a patchwork of siding on here a little bit, and that's because this is where the entrance used to be. And what happened was we were remodeling the kitchen, and I realized that that entrance wasn't going to work that well. What's nice about this home is it sits almost perfectly north-south. In the wintertime, when the sun comes up in the east, it'll actually come up over these trees and it'll settle over here. Right now, in the summertime, it's way up over here and it travels over here in the summer. But in the wintertime, it comes right up over these trees, and that sun will hit the front of this home. And if it's 30 degrees or above and not too windy like it is today, the blue, dark blue of the front door, you can't see it, it's open right now, will actually attract heat. And again, my idea was to put a 3-season porch on here, and that would really help collect the heat, because this part of the home really faces south and collects a lot of the heat in the wintertime also. Even though it's cold outside, it's amazing how much heat you'll get coming in that door. So we'll take you inside now and we'll show you the work we've done in here.
Come on in.
Okay, here we are.
Welcome to our renovated kitchen, 2017.
2017?
Is that when we did it?
Yeah, I think it was.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So as I was mentioning, the entry used to be over here, and after we got the kitchen installed, it just didn't seem to work that well with the entrance being in this location. So we relocated it to here, which works out really nice. Gives us a nice entryway. As I mentioned, a 3-season porch here would be even better. This works pretty well. Right now you've got your little coat and boot area here behind the door. You got a nice set of built-ins right here that came with the home when we bought it.
Yeah, we painted it to match the rest of the kitchen and added this backsplash. It used to be mirrors, like bar type mirrors back there, but kind of updated it, put some new varnish on the wood.
And gives you a lot of nice added storage space.
Yes.
That didn't originally come with the home. There's a pantry closet here that we use more as a broom closet and kind of a catch-all for the dog food and whatnot. But again, it's nice storage space. And one of the big upgrades to this kitchen that really made a big difference was the extra storage space. In these mobile homes, they are a little tight and a little small. And although we did sacrifice a dining room area, we replaced it with this island. And basically what it is, when we remodeled this kitchen, we bought two of these kitchen sink, and we turned one of kitchen sink cabinets, I should say, and we turned one of them into an island. And it adds, and we'll show you that in a minute, it adds a lot of additional storage space. Let me start off with the flooring here. This is actual bamboo strand wood flooring. We installed this ourselves, came out beautiful, and it holds up really well. That's why we purchased it. We were told the bamboo really holds up nice, and it has. It's held up really well. We, as I said, installed this island, and though we don't have a dining room area, we do have this little area here, which is quite large, and you could put a little table in here if you wanted to have a little breakfast nook. However, this little island will easily see, you can see we've got 4 stools, and you could easily put more around here. We've had our family in here, and we've sat, at least 8 around here without too much problem. This is even though the base is only 5 feet, I think this is 6 feet or more. So it's a good size area, plenty of counter space, and
It's worked out really well for seating, and for, you have extra prep room here and extra storage underneath. So plenty of room. Tim added these extra drawers here for utensils. So extra storage there.
yep. And again over here, kind of the same deal. Same thing, except over here you got your standard, and under here everything's been replaced. Everything's brand new. We've got all new plumbing. Everything was replaced when we redid the kitchen, so you won't have to worry about it. We've added some new electrical, added a couple outlets. I actually put the fridge on its own circuit with another outlet, which is really nice. All new cabinets up top here with recessed lighting, full storage, which is nice. We've got a Samsung convection oven, again LP, and a fan that exhausts to the outside. We've got a Frigidaire 18 cubic foot refrigerator, and again, all these appliances come with the home. We've got a Whirlpool dishwasher that works actually really nice. Been pretty happy with that, and pretty happy with the stove too. But double stainless steel kitchen sink, and we've got dimmable lighting in the kitchen here for your recess lighting. Also, we have a double light switch for your island. You can turn it off there and turn it on there, and you also got a dimmer light for your recess lighting over here, which is really nice. And that's pretty much it for the tour of the kitchen. What we really like about this setup, compared to other mobile homes, is a lot of mobile homes you're going to see the living and kitchen area in the center of the home with a bedroom on either end. This layout we really like because if one of us is sleeping way out back in the bedroom over here, the other person can be up here and not have to worry too much about noise and disturbing the other person out back. This open concept area just gives it a nice big open feel and makes it feel roomy. Now, yeah, I've heard people say, well, it's a mobile home, but it's 924 square feet. I think our first home was a ranch home, was 24 by 32. It was smaller in foot size space as far as comparison, but this home here has plenty of room. And the living room area here, you can see we've added these sliders right here. And from the couch, you can get a nice view of your backyard, watch the wildlife.
The sliders were a nice addition.
Yes, there used to be a window here, and that was part of the remodel initial when we did the kitchen. We added this slider, and it just gives it a nice big open feel. The other thing is, again, a nice location for a 3-season porch right here. You'd get the morning sun that comes in the morning, and it would give you additional living space that you could turn into storage for other, whether it's firewood for your winter or summer activities. As I mentioned, we had a hot tub out here at one point, which was nice, access point, and we were going to put a swimming pool in the back here eventually. So a lot of potential, a lot of options for things we could do with this property. One of the things I want to point out is this is all new laminate flooring we put throughout. And in the process of doing the flooring, we also ended up replacing some of the subflooring that we saw that was water damaged. So any place that we've replaced the flooring, which is the entire trailer, we replaced all new flooring. Any place we saw any water damage that had occurred over the years, we completely cut it out, put in new wood, so there's absolutely no water damage. And in many cases, we also replaced all the floor insulation, 6-inch floor insulation, and also sheetrock. We got rid of all the paneling that typically comes in mobile homes and put up all 3/8 sheetrock. A nice feature wall here with some custom lumber that we got off of the property here. And just to give you some idea, this is a 55-inch TV, and it's actually small on this wall. So it's quite a good size area. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the wood stove that we put in here 2 years ago. This is a mobile home certified England wood stove, full size, takes 16-inch pieces, and it's EPA approved, super efficient, and it's got a double wall pipe that goes up to the ceiling, and then from the ceiling through the ceiling up top, it's got a triple wall pipe. This wood stove is made to heat up to 2,000 square feet, so we don't even put it on, don't even need to crank it up too much, to be honest with you. It heats up this area real well. And that's one heat source we have. This home also has, and I will show you shortly, a brand new forced hot air furnace, and also this 18,000 BTU propane wall heater. And we're using this like right this time of year is real nice in the mornings when it's chilly and we don't want to run the furnace. We'll run this for a few minutes and it just takes the chill out of the air, either in the morning or in the evening. So it's very nice and handy to have. And during storms, if you lose power, not only do you have the wood stove for heat, but this requires no power at all. There's a fan, there's a cord on here so you can plug it in, but we don't even use it. We just use the heating portion of it and it works fantastic.
And one of my favorite areas is the first bedroom here. We've been using it as a pantry, an extended pantry. And it's a very spacious room. We're going to be taking the shelving out. Or if you want us to leave it, we can probably leave it.
It's a 10 by 10
Yeah, good size room.
bedroom.
Yeah, bedroom, and you could definitely have a closet area here. Previous owner, they had a twin bed right in here, so it really wasn't taking up that much space, but just an idea. You could have a little cubby there to stick a twin bed. Size room for whatever purpose.
This window here was added during our reconstruction. As I said, all of this wall was replaced, all new sheetrock, all new insulation, and we added this window in here, which really brings in a lot of light in the hallway.
It's
and
nice.
it gives us a nice view of the backyard. We Often see animals running around here as we're walking up.
Yeah.
Bedroom number 2, again, another 10 by 10 with a full closet.
Yeah, we have a large closet here.
As we continue down the hallway, we enter the back door and laundry area. And this back door, again, this was all replaced recently. All this flooring, subflooring was replaced. And this actually was the front door that we took out and moved, and I had it in storage. So when it came time to replace this door, I happened to have this one, and it fit in there. Of course, it opens out because we can't have it open in, and that's the way the original door worked on the trailer. But it works fine, and
It's definitely an upgrade because it was the original trailer door, which was much smaller.
yeah, and really not usable.
Yeah, and this one does have a blind inside the window, so you have the option for privacy.
And then you get your back deck here, which we just built this past week. Takes you out to the back. And Brenda did a nice job matching the paint on the doors here. Gives you access to your generator out back. And you come in. We'll talk about the washer and dryer real quick. This is brand new washer dryer we bought a few years ago.
A couple of years ago, yeah.
And we love them.
Yeah.
They're really nice upgrade. This comes with the home. This is well, you talk about it. We
this we were not impressed with the HE washers. Some of the clothes was barely getting wet. And when we saw this one, you can add the water level. You can add extra water. You have the deep fill option here, which if I'm doing a large load, I use a lot. But you got plenty of space here. I got some wet laundry in there now. But really works well. And gas dryer, very efficient. Also has been working very well.
Yeah. So she mentioned gas dryer, and there's one other gas appliance, and then I'll talk about that a little bit. We've got brand new cupboards we put in up here. Again, all new sheetrock, all new insulation behind them. So nice storage space here.
Plenty of storage for your laundry items.
And we'll go into the bathroom here. Now, the bathroom was the first room we did when we purchased the trailer because it needed the help the most. And so this didn't get the new flooring like over here, but we did put a new cabinet with a new sink and a nice backsplash. The mirror. And we also upgraded the toilet. We've got nice storage space here, another cabinet here, and I don't know if I mentioned we got a lot of storage down here underneath. And then we also have a full-size bath. And we added the sliding doors because we found the material just seemed to take up a lot of room. This really gives it a nice clean feel and full size. And we have no problem with water pressure here. As I mentioned earlier, we got our own artesian well and works really well. Come out of the bathroom and we go into the master bedroom. The master bedroom is a 12 by 14. Cat making herself at home.
Yeah.
This is a window that was added during the reconstruction. And this room here was completely gutted. We tore out all the subflooring. It was torn down right to the studs. All the insulation, all the sheetrock, everything was completely removed from this bedroom.
Yeah, all the paneling also.
Everything.
Yeah.
It was completely gutted, and all new insulation, all new subfloor, all new flooring, all new sheetrock, new window. We've got a nice closet here, upgrade from the original home closet. Really nice and roomy, good storage. Again, nice windows, plenty of light. And back here, we've got an updated 100 amp electrical panel, which is a nice upgrade so you can add on circuits with no problem. The original mobile home one was half this size and just odd if you know the type.
And it's labeled.
We got the labels. And one of the things I wanted to point out, as I mentioned, the generator out back. If you lose power, all you have to do is come in here, turn off your main power, turn on your generator once it's plugged in, and then from there you can turn on your fridge or your water pump or whatever lights you need. So there's plenty of room to expand. And the last thing I'm going to show you in here is the upgraded water heater. And I got to tell you, I love this water heater. The original water tank we had in here failed, and instead of installing another old-fashioned round water tank, we figured we'd give this a try. I'd never tried one before, and I personally like it. If you're familiar with these on-demand water heaters, it takes a little while for the hot water to get to the front of the mobile home. It's 60 feet to go, so it's quite a ride, but the money you're saving when this thing's not heating, like right now, we're not using any hot water. There's nothing being used. This is a brand new furnace that we installed, brand new LP. I think it's a 70,000 BTU LP furnace that we installed, I want to say about 4 years ago. And this forced hot air works great. It does a wonderful job. It does use some fuel. It's just why we have the wood, but it works awesome. And what's nice about this system is it delivers air, obviously forced hot air through all the ducts. It also has a duct that goes underneath the trailer and blows a little bit of warm air into there to help keep the underneath a little bit warmer in the wintertime, so you have less issues with freezing pipes and whatnot. One of the things you'll notice is there's a thermostat right here for the furnace. And the reason for that is because with the wood stove up front, we didn't need the thermostat up front. We only need the thermostat to control the temperature back here. And it works very well, very efficient. So even if we're heating up the front and it's nice and warm, we can still set the thermostat back here to 65 or whatever we want, comfortable temperature, and keep the back of the trailer, because obviously the wood heat from the wood stove has a hard time coming down this hallway without a fan. Once the fan kicks on from the furnace, it'll pull that hot air right down and makes it even that much more efficient. So it's really nice all the way around. And I'm just going to come back up the hallway into the living area here, and we'll show you one last time around the home. I pulled off a little section of skirting here just so I can show you underneath the mobile home. And we'll start here with the water tank, and we have a whole house water filter here. It's just a GE whole house water filter. And we have a little spin down filter. This here, basically you just open the valve up and kind of flushes out any big particles, larger particles that might have gotten caught. And everything in here was, well, the tank was brand new when we moved in, and then the filter we put in afterwards. We don't have, like I said earlier, too much problem with the water. We've had it tested a couple times, and I believe we have the results for that. If anybody's interested when they look at the home. And then as far as the filter is for occasionally rusty water, especially when it's heavy rain or in the springtime. Other than that, underneath here you've got this is the mobile home. You see it's cement slab. This is actually the slab that we had replaced when we purchased the property. And there is a vent that comes down from the furnace not too far from under here that blows a little bit of hot air under here in the wintertime. Right here you can see where the power and the cable internet and the water come up from underground from the utility pole outside I showed you earlier. And I'm not going to crawl underneath the home, but you can see basically it's fairly nice and clean. You get your gas line here. And one thing I'll mention, there's some insulation over here that what I do in the wintertime is I'll just make a little box around here, kind of keep it a little warm. We do have some heat tape on here that helps, but putting a little bit of insulation box around there kind of just helps keep above freezing. We've never had a problem with it freezing. I think one time in the years that we've been here, it got down 22 below zero, and I had to put a heater under here just to make sure we didn't have a problem. But other than that, we've never had any issues. So it's worked out well. And that's the underneath of the mobile home, right under here, towards the back, behind the back door here. And from here, I'll go up and we'll talk a little bit about the expense that we spend on heating and propane. Okay, that concludes our tour of 62 Ledgewood Drive. Hope you enjoyed the video. A little long, but we wanted to show it in detail. We've done a lot of work to it over the 9 years that we've been here, and really have a lot of pride in the work that we've done. It's ready to move in. Not to say there couldn't be other things that can be improved on, certainly from a new owner, and a couple things I mentioned. Real quick, as I mentioned, I wanted to kind of go over some of our expenses as far as the LP cost. We're running 5 appliances on this. We called the company just to confirm. We burnt 334 gallons of propane last year in 1 year. That was our first year of burning, that was our second year of burning wood, firewood. In our new wood stove, we burnt 4 cord. The first year we burnt about 4 cord, roughly. So for the last 2 years, that's probably been about our cost, just around 334 gallons of propane. Now that runs 5 appliances. That's our hot water heater, furnace. That's the forced hot air furnace for the mobile home. Dryer, mini wall heater, 18,000 BTU, and our convection oven, Samsung convection oven. So that's pretty affordable if you get the contract like we did. And as far as power consumption costs go, we're spending well under $150 a month from CMP, averaging around 120. Actually, it's been a little less. We signed on to that power grid, something or other, save money, and it's been pretty low the last few months. But typically, it's around 120 to $150 total. So one last thing I just want to mention, I put it in the video. This is a typical 2x4 construction, 16 on center construction walls with 2x6, 24 on center floor joists. Pretty typical standard construction. This was built in Vermont, so it's got the snow load capacity, even with its age. And one other thing I didn't mention when I was showing you the garage was there's underground power to the garage. We buried it in a pipe. It's actually right here. And it's buried 4 feet down. We went down low so we could get the culvert to go over it. And the intention was that it would be underground power to service a new barn or garage that was going to be placed there in the long term in place of that temporary Shelter Logic garage. So that is a nice feature that's existing there that gets you power without having to go overhead. And that was pretty much it. As I just showed you under the trailer, nice, clean. Pad's good. We use it for storage for kayaks and things that we don't mind getting cold. There's a little bit of heat under there. There's that filter. We also have an under sink filter. And all in all, that was pretty much it. We pretty much covered it all. And I will just finish up this video with you here in a minute. All right, so that's the tour of our home. We've got it on the market right now for $295,000. We are in the process of making appointments for people who want to come see the home. We're not going to be doing any open houses on this property, and we're asking nobody show up here unannounced unless they have an appointment. We are more than happy to schedule a time to have you come down and we'll go over the house. We know the house intimately, obviously, in the property. We've lived here and owned this property now for over 9 years, so we can answer pretty much any questions you may have. We think you're going to enjoy this property if you're interested in it. It's got a lot of benefits as far as privacy, quiet, low taxes, super efficient, really low cost to operate, and it's just a nice proximity to everything in the area that just makes this a nice little oasis in the middle of southern Maine.